Welcome into Bengals Breakdown by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey. We're going to break down some trade rumors, but first, we are 402 subscribers away from 2,000. The sooner we get there, the sooner this becomes the next full-time channel here at Chat Sports, and I'd love to do more Bengals videos. Hit that sub button for me right now. The latest Bengals trade rumors come to us from Bleacher Report. They pitched the idea of a trade for Chargers running back Austin Ekeler, which, hey, it'd be a fun piece to add to an already pretty damn dynamic offense. It would cause some complications money-wise, what you do with Joe Mixon. We'll break all of that down. First, the pitch from Bleacher Report. Ekeler is an elite dual threat who would be perfect in the Bengals backfield next to quarterback Joe Burrow. Since he's entering the final year of his contract, a third or a fourth round pick might be enough to entice the Chargers to trade him. We're going to come back to the money side of it because that's a big factor in this. But the trade would be Ekeler to the Bengals, a third or a fourth. Given what running backs tend to go for these days, I am inclined to suspect this would be more along the lines of a fourth-round pick. Running back trades don't happen very much. The value's very low, and they just don't carry the value they once did outside of Christian McCaffrey, who I love. I love Ekeler too. I don't think he's a Christian McCaffrey type of player. So would you do that trade for Ekeler? Let's say it's the fourth. We'll go Bengals friendlier. Would you trade for a fourth-round pick for Austin Ekeler? Why for yes and for no in the comments section. This is not about the player. This is about the money. That's why Ekeler is having issues in LA and why no one, despite a player who has consistently put up awesome numbers, has had little to no trade market at this stage. Ekeler had 900-plus yards each of the past 2 years in the rushing game. That alone is pretty darn good. Then you tack on the receiving numbers, and we're talking 700 yards, 600-plus yards. This guy's a 15,000-yard or 1,500-yard player, a bunch of touchdowns, who hasn't really shown that much sign of decline, relatively speaking, at running back. He's only 27 years old. He does turn 28 in May, but that's Dalvin Cook's age. That's Mixon's age-ish. He's now looking for his third contract. He's probably a bit underpaid, and that's why he wants a new deal. Chargers weren't going to give it to him. No one has so far. Now, you could move on from Joe Mixon. You could save $10 million by making Mixon a post-June 1st cut, which I assume the Bengals would do in the event they're trying to bring on Austin Ekeler, hypothetical. The problem that I run into here is the money. Let's go to the 10 highest paid backs right now in the NFL. And I'll include Ezekiel Elliott, who was recently cut, for the purpose of this conversation. Of these backs, who's panned out? That this second deal, who has worked out great? Christian McCaffrey got traded. He's been banged up too. Alvin Kamara's missed time, going to be suspended. Ezekiel Elliott got cut. Dalvin Cook isn't the same guy he once was. Derrick Henry's still playing at a high level. He's been linked in trade rumors. Nick Chubb has worked out. Aaron Jones has worked out for the most part. Those two guys are in committees. They split the workload. Joe Mixon, we're talking about cutting him right now. Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs are franchise tag guys. Do you want to pay $10 million on a third contract for Austin Ekeler? That scares teams because it's not fair, but the running back shelf life is minuscule. And when you start to lose that extra half-second step, the numbers dip and they drop hard. Look at Ezekiel Elliott. He was best back in 2016 in the NFL. He can't find a job right now. So you can bring in Ekeler if you want. I think he's a slight upgrade over Joe Mixon. Is the draft pick worth it? I'm not so sure. And you're still looking for another complimentary back in the draft, most likely. So I'm not necessarily opposed to getting Austin Ekeler. I think it gives you a fun third down piece that in terms of like pass catching is awesome for Burrow, but you're also on an offense where you have, potentially a draft pick at tight end, T. Higgins, who you want to pay, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd. Do you need the pass catching back or do you want the pass protector back? Those potential issues are, I think, why the Bengals have, at least so far, realistically, not shown much interest in an Austin Ekeler trade, and why other teams haven't shown interest in an Austin Ekeler trade either.